June 18th, 1970.
Thank you for waiting. Judy has come to talk with you tonight, Godfrey. Do you have any information for her?
Yes, we have information for her. We see here all is in accord. We have here the body and the soul, and also the fifth. This is good. All is in accord. Yes. First, we would answer the question, she has what is known as a gilt uterus. Yes, it shall be necessary before each time of birth she should visit a good physician, preferably a good gynecologist, and the knowledge is already there. Each time before a planned birth, it would be necessary that she take what is known as this time, as you would call it, one moment please. Yes, this is better. That she should take, as I would call it, birth control pills, preferably 3 months before. We see also a slight problem in the blood here. We would suggest at this time, and also that after the first birth of the first child, that the organs continue to function as they should. The taking of what I would call as liti e pincum. We also find calcium is lacking in the diet. Yes. We find in this subject a problem of the menstrual period. Yes. We find cramping, very hard cramping here, yes. It would be suggested that I change at this time the washing that I have done of the vagina. Yes. Change to a milder substance here. Yes, there are many good of this product on the market. Yes. We see also this soul has suffered injuries in her youth, and also she has suffered injury to the back area and the pelvic area. We would suggest that she consult either a good osteopathic doctor for adjustments here. If this is done and treatment carried out, it may not be necessary, and done correctly, it may not be necessary. Yes, this could be if it was done correctly. In working, the adjustments to be made on the pelvic area. The lower cybic part of the pelvis should be worked in an upward position, therefore relieving the nerves in the central nervous system of the back area. Yes. Yes. At the same time working upward, we find both the 6th and the 7th vertebrae here, pinch nerves in this area. Yes. Yes, we also find a mastoid problem here. This also could be relieved if this area was straightened out. Yes. Yes, we also see this patient has, one moment please. Yes, a skin problem here. We would not need to go into it this time. This, you already have treatment for this in other readings. We find also that this subject is a borderline diabetic. We would suggest the eating of Jerusalem artichoke. Also, we would suggest at this time the eating not of the black olive but the green olive, as much as she would want to satisfy her desire for this. Yes. Do not force this, but eat what you want. Your system will tell you the amount it needs. Yes, we also see headaches. Yes. She's entirely wrong in her belief of the source of these headaches. Once the back area has been relieved, if it is done properly, these will go away. Yes. Yes. Most, yes, your other problem you've taken care of already. Yes, we see this. Yes. Now, we would tell you of this. as God has said, and as the one known as Jesus said, fear not that man might harm thy body. Fear not, for he cannot destroy thy soul. He cannot destroy thy spirit. These are things that only you may destroy. And by you destroying them, then you have nothing for either God or Lucifer. Now, you have another problem, another question in your mind. To this, we would say nay. Can you understand this?
Are you still talking to Judy?
Can you understand this?
No, Arthur, we do not understand it. Are you talking to Judy?
Yes, we are talking to Judy. Hello, Judy. Can you understand this?
She said that she didn't understand it.
You are in fear of losing someone very dear to you. This shall not happen at this time if caution is used. Now can you understand it? Now, we find the good of your mother of this plains and the peace of her mind. At this time, we would not suggest a life reading on soul beauty. We would suggest instead that a follow-up reading be taken within 2 weeks. It is not necessary that you travel always to where Soul Ray is, or if you request it, the reading shall be given, if this is what you really want. Now, for the mother, we would say, sometimes when a mother bears many fruits, and she plants the seed to grow. Sometimes we are inclined to pamper one seed more than the other. And we should answer you in this way. In God's eyes, all are equal. In man's eyes, all are not. Therefore, the ability of one is sometimes greater than others. But we should remind you that if one of God's children is only able to shed one tear, he is loved as much as those who are able to shed many tears. Can you understand us? Now, we would leave a message. We have told Soul William of chaos, of the serpent who would take what is his This serpent shall bite in two directions. It would be suggested that he ask for this information. Now you have another question in your mind. Ask it. So, Judy.
What about Rick?
It would be suggested, since you are out of our field at this time, and that we cannot hear you but only feel your vibrations, that you would convey the message to the conductor, and therefore the message be conveyed to us.
One question she wanted to know, Oscar, was could Dr. Bromell correct her back?
He could do a great deal of good here, but we would suggest that thy journey to the osteopathic hospital in Tucson, Arizona. There is also a very good one in what I would call Los Angeles, California. Very good. And there, let him have a complete examination. This would help him. Yes, Barnell is good. But it would also be suggested that one moment, please. Yes. 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 Yes, start the treatment here, then ask for another reading. If the adjustments are not made according, then we shall place a message there, yes. Start them.
Okay, Arca. The treatment she can use for her complexion problem, is that the soda and olive oil that you have recommended?
Yes. In her case, we find it has been one moment. Yes. We find that in her case, yes, in her case, we would suggest that the use of a raw egg in the soda, the white of the raw egg, be used to dampen the soda with, therefore making what I would call a mask. After this is thoroughly dried on the skin, washing the skin with very good clean water. Yes. It would also be suggested. Yes. Then applying the olive oil, and then a good either alcohol or a good substitute therefore. But we also find another problem here. Upon me, it would be suggested at this time that she change her drinking water. The chemicals in the water that she is now drinking are affecting two things: her blood flow and her denture problem. It would be suggested for her to purchase more purified form of drinking water. Yes, this will be all on Soul Judy. What other questions?
She also asked if Rick is the person that she should marry.
Now you ask as a child. Look into your own heart. There the truth shall be known to thee.
On some of your readings before, Arca, you have mentioned words that we are not sure of their meaning. At this time, can you give us information on these words?
Yes, we have said before, at any time, you must understand that upon the plane we take this information and the translation back to this plane of yours is sometimes rather difficult. Therefore, it sometimes we may sound as if we are talking in riddles. We do not mean to talk this. Therefore, at any time that the meaning of this is not understood, ask, and this information shall be known to thee.
All right. The first one is in reference to the life reading on Roberta. You said that she was a Latu?
Yes. The word Latun, as we would say, means that this soul is a divided soul. It has yet to become into meaning. We would explain here that, as we have said before, as the souls hovered above this earth and chose their entries and have been so since, this is not guided by us, nor God. This is done of their own free choice. And as there is karma, so we find that two souls shall try and enter the same body, therefore each fighting for survival. When this happens, the karma shall can ride forever and never end, and go to the end of the plains. Therefore, in this case, if the separation of this is done, this is why we have suggested that thy group know all forms of hypnosis, and the treating of such, for the day shall come soon when the communication of the mind shall be undone. Can you understand this?
Yes, Adka. Was this the reason for the incarnations so close together?
Yes, it is also, but yet we find there is also the other problem. You must understand that the animal form here was an inbred. Therefore, animal to human and back again. Priest Ra-Tai, rather than to correct these measures, and then we also find that the natural evolution of man, changing of animal state into man state, in some were quite slow. You have your own science have found remains of these as this takes place, rather than wait the thousands of years which it would take for the genes to react in accord here. Priest Ra-Tai, after extensive study with Priest Akon, of Atlantis, he became a very skilled surgeon, you might say, in his day. Therefore, this you will find in some of the older pyramids, in some of your older caves and dwellings of such, you will find these people have even drawn of themselves there, and records are left of this. As we have said before, from the time of the opening and the bringing of three together should happen, all this shall be known to man. You have this problem. If the interbred sea should start again, then the destruction of man should start again. This is not in God's plan, that I would take by force and breed this back. These secrets are known even to some of your own scientists of this day. These are some of the things that, as they entered into, as I would call it, parts of Germany and the concentration camps in Czechoslovakia, some of the German scientists there were experimenting with. Now, you ask of the priest Ra-Tai, was he good or was he evil? First, he was a man. He tried very hard to rise above his manly will, and even prolonged his own life for many years. But at that time, we would say he was close to a saint, as they had. But he also had the knowledge that with him he buried the secrets of Atlantis. Had he not done this, man would have completely destroyed himself before he had another chance at life again on this plane. Can I understand this?
Yes, I can.
Now they ask, in what matter did priest Ra-Tai travel? We have told thee before of the cosmic magnetic rays, or beams as you would call them. The source of travel, as it is now on other planets and soon shall be on your own, was done by locking this beam upon another planet, projecting the altitude necessary of travel. If they did not raise above the Earth's atmosphere, then they would travel in, as I would call it, in a direct round circle. There are also certain gases known, which, as I know at this time, of what they would call liquid fuel rockets, were used for the propulsion of the Earth rebound. These secrets, if was found, You must understand that those of the worshipful one were dying out. The few that escaped no, we cannot give this information at this time. We must ask permission first. Ask your other question.
Was the word Ming Toy in reference to the inbred, was this anything like the Latin?
Yes, only this was a carnivorous, cat-like animal, half man, half cat. Now, time is growing short, and that we should leave our message, which is more important than all, for this is part of God's work, and without His permission, this could not come as it has. As we have said before, we are here to prepare a way. We would tell you now this, since I would know of the beginning, that not of all the man-beasts did the Spirit enter. Therefore, you have those among you who does not wear the mark of God. And we would also tell you that if I connect thyself so close with the earth plane, into earthly things, then as I re-enter only for the earthly things, and I should know only of earthly things. For those who would talk of God, would know of God. Can you understand this?
Yes, Doctor.
Now, we have asked before that in thy minds thou would search for Bartholomew. For the time grows near when the disciples should all be known. And we would say of this, should that Luke not know of herself, then we should choose another. Can I understand this?
Yes, Doctor.
Now, we have a message for Peter. If he would think of us 3 days from now, we would come to him. and give him the blessing that he needs at this time before his heart is heavy. Now, we grow weak. It is time to waken Soul Ray from his slumber. One among you, yes, we would say this: if thou can forgive thyself, then God can forgive thee. But remember, for forgiveness, all they must do is think of God, for he loves all